My name's Adam Spence. I'm Executive Director of the Ontario Association of Food Banks, and we're here at Whittemore's Farm in East Markham, Ontario. We're here today to launch Community Harvest Ontario, which is an initiative to increase access to fresh, healthy, local food for low-income Ontarians through partnerships with farmers and corporate community partners to glean, grow, and donate local food.
We got talking one day. They were saying, what do you do with your excess crop? And I said, well, basically we till it back into the ground. They said, well, would you mind if we brought people up to pick? And I said, no, that's a great idea.
Between the food that is either disposed of or tilled back into the soil, it's estimated that there's about 25 million pounds in Ontario each year that meets that fate. It's a significant amount, and if you consider the 375,000 Ontarians that are forced to turn to food banks each month, and you put those two numbers together, I think we can make a very impactful program here by ensuring that those 25 million pounds get to those 375,000 people.
If you look at a farm, once they've gone through harvest, so that's one reason that there'd be surplus available. That they go through, they gather what's top quality, and then what remains, which might be too large, might be blemished, or it might be too small, is still good food, but difficult for them to sell in the grocery store, or difficult for other people to pick and take home. And so that's one of the significant reasons that it's available. So by us gathering the strawberries, the green beans, eggplants, tomatoes, that is taking advantage of an available supply or wealth that we can actually use and give to folks that need it most. And so why the farmer does it, I think there are many reasons. One, and primarily, is because they believe and understand in the justice of what we're doing. I mean, they know it's the right thing to do, and that they are in the same kind of business that we are, that farmers are in the business of feeding their neighbors. And we too, as food banks, are also in the business of feeding our neighbors.
We've had gleaning projects here for at least the last 10 or 12 years, and it gradually expanded. Some years we'd have 300 or 400 people. They'd bring 5 or 6 buses, and these people would go out to the strawberry field after we were finished. And there's always a few berries left over, and they would clean up everything that was there. And then, but what was neat, they didn't just hand those strawberries to the people that needed them. They actually took those people back to the social service agencies and would teach them how to cook, what to do with the strawberries, or what to do with the beans or the peas. And rather than just a handout, it was more a hand up. Food banks, as far as I can see, are going to be here to stay. But I would look at the food bank as it's an opportunity to educate.
A lot of this food, as I said, is perfectly edible, really great food, healthy food that you'd be happy to serve to your family, and farmers do serve it to their families. It just, to me, says that the solution here is in our backyards, the solution to the problem of hunger in Ontario. And farmers are on board, and there's nothing that they regret seeing more as the fruits of their labor go unused.
I'm here today just to help with Community Harvest Ontario. It was the launch, and so we were in the fields digging up potatoes and picking beans, and give back to their community by cleaning and getting the food to food banks. You just get to get dirtier, I guess, and it's like finding buried treasure.